in Siddhashram. They've just left Siddhashram. We discussed last week. And the purpose for which Vishwamitra had invited Lord Ramachandra, or requested Dasharatha, not invited Lord. Vishwamitra is a very special person. He has two agendas. One was to take care of Tataka, Maricha and Subahu. And that's what he told Dasharatha. But he didn't tell about Mithila. So the second part of the agenda, or the main reason, was to take Lord Ramachandra to Mithila. Now, the reason they had to stop in Siddhashram, as we've discussed before, is to build Ramachandra's bio. Because when he has to upload on shadi.com, from the girl side, they will look at the bio. And they will want to see, as they say in Hindi, Ladka karta kya hai? What does he do? And at this point, Ramachandra hasn't done anything. Right? So, killing Tataka, Maricha and Subahu, that was the agenda. That people say, oh, very accomplished, very good. Not only is a good boy with good qualities, but he's also done something, a nice job, good prospects. Then they will ask, is there growth possibility in this job for him? Yes, yes. Soon he'll become vice president. And from vice president, he'll be the CEO. Right? Okay, very good. So now there, he said, we are going to Mithila. Janaka Maharaj is conducting a big yajna. And everyone should go to that yajna. And you want to see this Shiva Dhanush. That's where we left off. Ramachandra and Lakshmana are disciples of Vishwamitra Muni. So although they are walking and going to Mithila from the beginning, the lessons are important as to why at different places where we discuss, Vishwamitra narrates these stories. And the reason Ramachandra and Lakshmana want to hear stories is not entertainment. It's not just bore ho rahe hain, say something, not like that. The idea is to make so this is sort of the philosophical part of it. The idea is to maximize their time with their Guru. Because opportunities of being and hearing directly from the spiritual master is rare. And so when such opportunities arise, then one should take full advantage of it. So Ramachandra and Lakshmana at every opportunity will ask, oh, please tell us about this place. Now when they say, please tell us about this place, the idea is not, they're not tourists. Tell me about this building, tell me about this public place, can we take a picture here? They're not tourists. But it's an indirect way that when you ask, what is this place? Because every place has to have some history behind it. It's a way of asking for the Guru to share his realizations of that place. So when we go for yatra or some places, that the spiritual master, whoever is taking for yatra, will say, oh, this is the place where the Supreme Lord performed this activity, and then there is a whole story connected with it. Now, story everybody has heard. We've heard it many times. How many times you have heard Ramayana? Oh, hundreds of times. How many times you have heard Vaman Dev and Bali Maharaj story? Hundreds of times. But every time a realized devotee narrates that story, then we get the hidden jewels of realization that otherwise the storyline may not necessarily give out. Right? So Bhagavatam also is written, but then the very second verse only says, Shukamukad Amruta Dravya Samyutam. It has to be spoken by a realized person. So we are hearing from realized people in these books that they have written the commentaries and all of that. And then we're like, oh, Ramayana is so amazing. We did not know. previously, right? They are bringing out all these fantastic. So within these stories, these great persons, especially like Vishwamitra, has all these hidden realizations. And the disciples' first order of business is to hear from the Guru. And only that way a person starts gathering wealth. How does a disciple become rich? By hearing and gathering the jewels that the Guru is giving. That's how a disciple becomes rich. So Ramachandra and Lakshmana, although they're the supreme personality of Godhead, they want to become enriched by Vishwamitra. So they're asking. So at Siddhashram, we discussed that it was the place where Vamanadev and Lord Vishnu both performed tapasya, and the place became known as Siddhashram. So the whole story of Vamana and Bali was narrated. And part of the learning the story is some lessons that we have to use in life. Like in one of these things we listen about Vamana and Bali, and now getting into the whole story because it's such a fascinating story. And if you get into it, then you can keep on going. There are all these wonderful aspects in that story, and discussed in Bhagavatam. That a person, Vamanadev says, that a person should not become greedy. And even when someone says, what do you need? Ask for anything you want. A person should only seek what is necessary for their service and not become greedy. Because when Vamana says, I only want 3 paces of land, Bali Maharaj laughs at him and tells him, you are Balaka, you're a young boy whose intelligence is not that developed. Because here I am, Bali Maharaj. I can give you an entire planet if you want. Ask anything. The whole 3 worlds are mine. I can give you anything. And at that time, Vamana says a very important answer. He says, there is enough in this world for a person's need. But there is not enough in the universe for a person's greed. This is the nature of greed. So I can take anything. I can ask the 3 worlds from you, but I will not be satisfied if I'm a greedy person. Greed is a very, very tricky quality. So I don't know. And the 3 paces of land is enough to bury a person. For each of us, according to our height, if we walk 3 paces, we can fit horizontally in that. So Vaman Dev is saying, all I wanted was 3 paces of land. That's all. So another lesson is that part of Vamana's story is that Bali Maharaj, although a great person, coming from a great personality like Prahlad Maharaj, he had a little pride. Pride of being charitable. I am very charitable. Ask whatever you want. In 10th canto, at the end of the Sudama pastime, the commentary says, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, that Sudama did not want any wealth. But Krishna gave him so much wealth that he could not imagine that Rukmini Devi had to stop him. Anymore, I cannot give. Storage room is empty after this. Why Krishna gave Sudama wealth? Because Sudama was proud of being poor. Very poor. I'm poor, I'm very poor. To break that pride, he gave him wealth. I said, wow, what a gift. I'd rather be proud as that I'm not so rich. So this way pride or that way pride, Krishna likes to break it. So when we say pride, we shouldn't consider, put Sudama on the scale along with us on this side. So, oh, he was also proud. I am also proud. It's not like that. That pride is very, very subtle and small. That he didn't, that pride of poverty was not like, I'm very poor. Not that kind of arrogance. That because I am poor, I'm not going to ask Krishna anything. So that pride was broken. But in a very sweet way, Krishna embraced him and gave him gifts and wealth that no one could recognize that was Sudama's. Sudama could not recognize his own wife. So Bali Maharaj's pride was broken by charity. He said, oh, you're very proud that you can give anything. So I only want 3 paces. And those 3 paces he asked in such a way that Bali could not fulfill. So this slight or massive pride that is sitting, and our heart is very small, but somehow it has the capacity to hold so much pride, arrogance, greed, lust. Is fascinating how everyone's heart is this big. Of course, this is physical measurement. You get the idea. I'm teasing. Physically, only so small organ, right? It has the pride that because it is beating, the whole body is functioning. But inside is mountains of so much sitting there. Not physically in the heart, but you get the subtle organ of heart. So this lesson, as the story is being narrated, these are all lessons that Rama and Lakshmana are picking up. Of course, no one needs to teach them. But as a student, we are supposed to learn. When the Guru is speaking the story, oh, these are the great lessons. I should be so careful. So this is why at every place, Lord Ramachandra and Lakshmana will ask Vishwamitra, please tell us about this place. Not because they are tourists, because they want to learn. So when they are leaving Siddhashram with folded hands, Ramachandra and Lakshmana say, we have fulfilled what you had asked us. What else would you like us to do? This is called Kainkaryam or Kinkara. Right? The word Kinkara we understand as surrendered servant. I am Kinkara. Technically or literally it means Kim Kara. What can I do for you? Kim Kara. So Vishwamitra is so pleased. And now as they are walking towards Mithila from Siddhashram, they arrive at the bank of the Shona river. And that evening, they take a bath because it is sunset time. They take a bath in the Shona river and they perform their evening Gayatri and everything. And Vishwamitra, hundreds of sages are sitting right in front of Vishwamitra. Ramachandra, Lakshmana sit down. So visual picture. And with folded palms, Ramachandra asks, what a beautiful place this is. Please narrate, if you don't mind. And Ramachandra is also very interesting. His question is, please narrate about this place, not summary, in detail. Vistara, please tell us in detail. I want to know everything. If you'd like, please narrate the story of this place. So Vishwamitra becomes happy. From a chapter perspective, this is Balakanda chapter 32. Vishwamitra becomes pleased because somehow this place is connected to his forefathers. So he says, okay, I'm going to tell you the story of this great personalities who were my ancestors. So he says, to Lord Brahma, a great son was born by the name Kusha. And Kusha was so excellent and expert at performing austerities. He never broke his vows. Whatever vow he took, he fully accomplished and kept for the rest of his life, and was perfectly known in Vedic Dharma. And he was a worshipper of the great souls. Now these sentences are said because this is what makes a perfect human being. Okay, so I'm going to read the Sanskrit, so those words hopefully will stay. So Brahma Yonir Mahan, who was born from Brahma, Asit Kusho Nama Mahatapah. So first quality for a great person is Mahatapa. There should be at least Tapa. Mahatapa comes later. At least some austerity must be there. Then Aklishta Vrata. Aklishta Vrata. Klishta means to break, or to easily become overpowered. So in whole of Ramayana, Valmiki calls Ramachandra Aklishta Karmana. Aklishta Karmana. Aklishta Karmana means he can do any activity, but is never tired or broken from it. Yesterday I had a long day at work. Today I'm broken like anything. Physically I'm drained like anything. But Lord Ramachandra is Aklishta Karmana. He can do anything and not feel tired. Even Hanuman is like that. And this Aklishta shows up again. It says that when Hanuman jumped over the ocean, 100 yojanas, okay, and it was not like, he was flapping his legs, and he was flying at very great speed. In between, he has to fight Surasa and then Simnika. And then when he lands in Lanka, right? So generally, anyone seen Usain Bolt running 100 meters, or Carl Lewis? He was the hero when I was younger. Now he's Usain Bolt, apparently the fastest man in the world. He can run 100 meters in less than 9.4 seconds. Okay, that's very fast. At the end of 100 meters, what does Usain Bolt do? Because he has put everything into it, that at the end of 100 meters, he's finished. That guy is called Usain Bolt Krishna Karmana. He's done. If you ask him, okay, turn around and run the 100 meters back again, may not be so easy. But Hanuman, as soon as he landed, it says not even once did he say, he just landed. So Aklishta Karmana. That is the kind of, so he is here, he is called Aklishta Vrata. There is no Vrata that breaks him. Vrata breaking us means, my favorite example is Janmashtami or Narasimha-Chaturdashi. We're waiting. When will it be? 12:10. Not 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock we can manage. 12:10 we cannot manage. Because 12 o'clock excitement is there. Oh, curtains are opening and everyone's singing. But 12:10, first question is, where is Charanamrit? Where is Charanamrit? Everyone is in the basement looking for Charanamrit. That is Klishta Vrata. That Vrata breaks. Anyway, I'm making joke because I'm myself like that. But anyway, Aklishta Vrata Dharmagya. That is a Dharmagya. One should know what principle of dharma to apply in what circumstance. We don't know. If someone says, oh, we should, now the story of forgiveness is coming up. Forgiveness. Oh, I don't know how to apply forgiveness. I don't know when to be tolerant, because our ideas of tolerance and forgiveness are very dramatic. So we don't. Dharmagya, one should know. And then, very beautiful phrase, Sat Jana Pratipujakaha. One should learn how to serve great souls. Sat Jana Pratipujakaha. These are the qualities of Kusha, because he's born from Lord Brahma. Okay. So then, Kusha had a wife named Vaidarbhi. She was from Nagpur. Because that area, Deccan area, is called Vidarbha. So who's another Vaidarbhi that we know? St. Louis. Maybe great soul. The other Vaidarbhi, I was thinking, what is Rukmini? Okay. From Vaidarbhi. Rukmini is also from Nagpur, that area, that Deccan area. So with Vaidarbhi, he had 4 sons. And each son was equal in the qualities as Kusha. And those qualities again are Mahatapaha, Aklishta Vrata, Dharmagya, Satjana Pratipujaka. So these 4 sons, their names were Kushamba, Kusanabha, Adhurtaraja, and Vasu. Okay, third fellow, for some reason, why they gave such a long name, I don't know. Kushamba, Kusanabha, Adhurtaraja, and Vasu. Great persons. Again, their qualities are also, they were endowed with great brilliance. That means very effulgent. Effulgent means that inside and outside they were very clean and knowledgeable. That's when effulgence is there. If a person has no knowledge, you can see they look so. Before we came to Krishna, connect your pictures. Look at your picture. Of course, not everyone. Some people are very good looking. When I look at my pictures before and after, of course, not much change. I still have, some people have great brilliance, great enthusiasm, great piety, and truthfulness in speech. Okay. So then King Kusha told these four sons, please take care of the kingdom nicely. Means become qualified princes and kings. So all these four, they started building wonderful cities for their citizens. So wonderful city just doesn't mean nice buildings. Wonderful cities means all facilities for their citizens. Gardens, lakes, ponds, schools, maybe hospitals, roadways, projects, just very well administered places. Okay. So then Vishwamitra is telling what cities each one did. I'm going to walk through this a little fast. Kushamba constructed the great city called Kushambi. Okay. Kusanabha constructed the city called Mahodaya. King A, every time pronouncing his name is difficult. King A constructed the city called Dharmaranya. And Vasu created the city called Girivraja. And why this is being narrated? Because where they are sitting is the city called the area is called Girivraja. Okay. So he says, oh Ramachandra, the land on the bank of this Shona river belongs to this great king called Vasu. And it's got the name Girivraja because look around, there are 5 mountains that are around the city. And because he created the city in the valley of those 5 mountains, it was called Girivraja. And this Shona river that comes through goes around the 5 mountains like a garland. And this another name for the river is Magadhi. So the area is called Magadha. Who's the great personality who came from Magadha in Krishna's pastimes? Jarasandha. Very good. Jarasandha. He was from Magadha. So this river is called Magadhi, Shona. It comes and goes from east to west. But then again, it goes from west to east because it's like a garland. It goes around. So then this Kusanabha, he had a very wonderful wife called Ghritachi. And through Ghritachi, they had 100 daughters. Very, very beautiful, qualified daughters. And one day, these 100 sisters, apparently they never fought with each other, no sibling rivalry. It was interesting. These 100 sisters were frolicking and playing and enjoying themselves in a garden. So this, and here it is described how they were. Close your ears. These youthful and beautiful girls were nicely decorated with sandalwood paste, tilak markings, etc. And they were like lightning during monsoon. Means so effulgent. Seen how in a monsoon time where the dark cloud, suddenly there's a flash of lightning. So there were 100 flashes of lightning. So beautiful these girls were. And they were in this garden. So Vayudev, he got very attracted to them. And he showed up there and he says, hey, gave his business card. I am Mr. Vayu. I am the demigod, very powerful. And I like all of you. And I want to marry all of you. I have the capacity to marry and take care of all of you. In fact, you should also agree, because you're all in mortal bodies, human bodies. Human life is, who wants to be a human when you can be a demigod? Marry me, come to live with me, and you'll be free of any bodily problems. No more old age, no more disease, no more death. Is forget. Demigods don't even think about death because they're called Amara. They live for a very, very long time. And their bodies, demigods don't die. Hey, what happened to such and such demigod? Or, he's in the hospital with a heart problem. What happened to the other demigod? Nowadays, arthritis is really bothering him. Like that. No such diseases. Demigods, they don't even die deaths that are like that. Just Sunday, death happens. So he told them, imagine your youthfulness, your beauty will always be there. Come, let's go. And for Vayu, he never hears a no for an answer. Why? Because Vayu is very powerful. Very, very powerful. Considered one of the most powerful among the demigods. How powerful? What does Arjuna say to Krishna? Vayu reva dushkaram. My mind, of course, is more powerful than Vayu, but he gives the analogy of Vayu. Prabhupada narrates how Vayu works. There are 7 different categories of Vayu. Generally, when we say Vayu, we think of air that we breathe. Even the air that we breathe. So, in the 7 levels, Vayu exists. One level is the level that we are aware of, that is 10 groups of air, right? Or 5 categories: Prana, Apana, Vyana, Udana, and Samana. Even these 10 are so powerful that we cannot control. If I have to burp, not I have to, but if a burp is coming out, I cannot stop it, right? If sneeze come, it's very difficult to stop a sneeze or a fart. Can't stop. It can't stop. Nobody has the power. So just the Vayu within the body is so strong that nobody can control. Then there are different levels of Vayu. And Prabhupada explains that Vayu moves all the planets in their orbits. Right? That is how it works. How does this planet, that planet move in the universe? It's Vayu who's moving them. And with what speed? What is the speed of the sun, for example? Of course, Surya Dev is on a chariot that is being pushed by Vayu also. That's okay. Or the horses are running and Aruna is the chariot driver. Forget all that technicalities. Take any planet that is moving around. For us, when we see from here, Jupiter has certain orbit, right? At the distance that Jupiter is, and for it to cover all that to come back, can you imagine the speed? That is Vayu is pushing them. And that is how powerful Vayu is. So nobody can stop Vayu. Only 100 girls can stop him. So they told him, it was a beautiful verse. They tell him, thanks, but no thanks. Proposal rejected. We don't want to marry you. And they warn Vayu. Our piety is so strong that we can immediately make you fall down from your demigod position. But we will not. Because our father has taught us not to be like that. So here's that verse. Kusanabha-Bala sarvaha. All the 100 daughters. Samarthas tvam surottama. Samartha, we are capable. Sura uttama, oh greatest of the demigods. We have the capacity. For what? Sthanat chavayutum devam. We can make you fall from your position. Okay. However, rakshasams tu tapovayam. But we want to protect our tapasya, the strength that we have. We don't want to waste it. So in Vishwamitra's story, which comes later, every time Vishwamitra would attain very, very high piety from tapasya, somebody would come to him and he would want to help them. So he would give away all his tapasya shakti to them. One is this great personality called Trishanku. After he had Trishanku, all his tapasya credit was over. So he went back to perform austerity. Then once Menaka comes, with Menaka he spends a good amount of time. He says, Hare. Klishta Vrata goes back thousands of years, attains it. Then Rambha comes. He curses her, and by that curse, all that credit's gone away. Goes back 1,000 years. Then Shunashnepa, that's coming up anyway, so I don't want to tell you the story ahead. But he gave. So like this, all credit keeps going away. So every time a person becomes angry or curses someone or does something, then that vrata becomes klishta. So everything, for example, in our case, we've chanted nicely somehow. Nicely means 16 or over. Quantity. Studied Bhagavatam, we have performed seva. So with that, some tapa credit grows. And as soon as we say something negative about some devotee or something or become angry, all that is gone. Back to zero next day. Something will build, something will happen. So we are constantly dissipating and making our balance of credit zero, or in my case negative. I'm on loan. Okay, I'm on credit. But that's what happens. So these girls said, we don't want to. We can if you want to, but no, we will just, sorry, thanks. But what's important for us is that we are not just going to marry you. Whoever our father chooses, to such a person will marry. This is our way of showing our gratitude to our father. So sorry, proposal rejected. Ladka acha nahi laga. We didn't like it. So Vayu, who never likes to hear no for an answer, is so powerful. Imagine, no, suddenly so great a person was told no. So Vayu said, really? Such arrogance, huh? I will show you. I will teach you a lesson. And entered their bodies. And just, what happens is when Vayu or enough air is not in the body, one develops rheumatism, arthritis. Have you seen people's fingers become like that? You never seen? Yeah. When our body becomes twisted or gets deformed, is because there's not enough proper flow of Vayu. So he entered all their bodies and made all their bodies deformed, and they become hunchbacks, like kubjas. Hunchback, all the beauty went away, all the bones got twisted, and they were like that. And they said, what happens when you reject my proposal? So these girls went home crying. When Kusanabha saw them, he was shocked. Hare, what happened to you? And not one, all 100. So please tell me. So the girls, poor girls, crying, they narrated the story of what happened with Vayu and how they maintained their vrata and their, loyalty to their father. So till Kusanabha said, oh my gosh, this is not correct. We need to find out what to do for you. So he went and consulted. These daughters offered their obeisances to their father. And they said that this is how Vayu violated us. Kusanabha was very, very happy with his daughters. And he told them that what you have done is a crowning glory quality. You have exhibited, he said, kshama, forgiveness. That when Vayu did something to you, you could have counteracted. You could have cursed Vayu and brought him down, but you did not. So he says, this is very, very fantastic quality of forbearance, or the sense of forgiveness, that you did not react back. So he says, he gives them a very beautiful verse. He says, Alankaro hi narinam kshamatu purushasyava. So first of all, narinam, among women or for women, alankarahi, the best decoration is kshama. The sense of forgiveness is the best ornament. Actually, anybody can, especially women can wear. Because he's talking to his daughters. And then he says this beautiful verse, which the reason I'm saying it is I love this verse, and hopefully you will appreciate it too. Kshama danam, kshama satyam, kshama yagyascha putrikaha, kshama yashaha, kshama dharmaha, kshamaya vishtitam jagat. So, what forgiveness is equal to. So, we may not have all the different qualities, but if we have kshama, the ability to forbear or tolerate or forgive, right, then everything else we are able to do is as good as doing it. So, first is kshama danam. We may not have great wealth to give away as charity, but if we have the ability to forgive, then it is the greatest charity. Kshama danam. Kshama satyam. That satyam means to live according to one's true nature. So kshama satyam means in all circumstances, forgiveness is always the right thing. Of course, great kings punish, but that punishment is according to their forgiveness. So I'll give you an example. How punishment is also forgiveness. We shouldn't use that example for us. Only great personalities can. Nalukuvera and Manigriva were naked, frolicking, drunk. Their eyes were rolling in their sockets out of intoxication. And when Narada Muni came, the women covered themselves. But Manikuvera and Nalukuvera were like, oh, who's there? They didn't even notice Narada. They didn't care. So Narada cursed them to become trees. But that curse is part of forgiveness. Why? Because in that kshama, they are getting benefited. When we curse someone or punish, we don't benefit the person. I shouldn't say we. I don't benefit. We sages are sitting here. I shouldn't say we. I. It's when we see our punishment is when we see the other person hurting, it feels good. And we say, now you understand. But Narada Muni, etc., these great persons, when they punish, they don't like to see them suffer. They like to see them relieved. That's the quality. This is to help Manigriva and Nalakuvera. And what is the help? Swayam Krishna's contact. So if we can somehow give somebody direct Krishna's contact, then that punishing okay. I don't even know how to contact Krishna. So what can I do, right? So Kshama Satyam. Huh? A coming story coming up. Oh, Ahalya story. Exactly. Gautama Rishi cursed Ahalya. What was the benediction? Swayam Ramadarshana. Oh, amazing. So like that, many. The great sages curse not out of anger, but to benefit and to relieve that person. So Kshama Satyam. Somebody's phone is unmuted. We will forgive you for it. Kshama Yagya. The greatest yagya that one can perform is Kshama. And he says, Kshama Yashaha. That one who can forgive becomes very famous. Very famous. But one who antagonizes or punishes may not be famous. Kshama Dharmaha. The reason, for example, how these girls, anyone heard about Kusanabha's 100 daughters before this? No. Why are we hearing? When did this happen? Sometime in Satya Yuga. Which Satya Yuga? Who knows? Either this one or some previous cycle of Satya Yuga. Because they forgave Vayudev, common people like us are hearing about them, right? So Kshama Yasha, they became famous. In 2020, somewhere in some godforsaken place called Chicago, right? Who would hear about? But they are famous among persons who are interested in Kshama. If you are not interested in Kshama, we would not hear about them. So that fame is their father is telling them that you will become famous. That even Vishwamitra is narrating to Lord Ramachandra. Imagine, Lord Ramachandra, obviously as the Supreme knows, but to him, these 100 daughters are being spoken of. What else can be more fame than to fame personified, someone says, right? And he said, Kshama Dharma. It is one's duty and one's nature to be forgiving. And this is why one of the favorite phrases in the verse, Kshamaya Vishtitam Jagat. This entire world, this universe, especially the earth, Jagat is taken as the world, is only working because of Kshama. Who is that Kshama Devi? Bhumi Devi. So, Kshamaya Vishtitam Jagat. For all the moving and non-moving entities, because Bhumi Devi is forgiving and forbearing, we're able to do what we're able to do. We dig wells, we throw bombs, we pass stool and urine, we dig for oil, we break things down, we torture Mother Earth, we ruin her ecosystem, but she's very forbearing. And so he's saying that the whole world around you is surviving and being alive because of forgiveness. So it's a great quality to have. If Mother Earth were to punish, we would be done. We would be gone very quickly. So he's saying the world is surviving because of forgiveness. Kshamaya Vishtitam Jagat. So excellent. You've done very, very amazing work. In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 13, where Arjuna asks, Jnanam, please tell me, what is Jnanam? Krishna gives 20 qualities. And one of the qualities is Kshanti. Kshanti means tolerance or forgiveness. And in that purport, Prabhupada writes, tolerance means that one should be practiced to bear insult and dishonor from others. Of course, in this context, tolerance, forgiveness are being spoken as the same thing. They're not necessarily the same. There's a light. But anyway, that's okay. Kshanti, Kshamata, they're the same thing. So then, he sent his daughters away and he started thinking, what should I do to help my daughters? So he discussed with his ministers. And he said, somehow I need to get my daughters married to a suitable person at the right place and at the right time. So he consulted with his ministers. At the same time, not far from, there was a contemporary sage who was from China. His name was Chuli Muni. I don't know if he was China. This is my nonsense in the middle of Ramayana. His name was Chuli Muni. So Chuli Muni was such an amazing sage that he was Pakka Brahmachari. Not ever did he discharge his semen. I mean, so here is the shloka. It says, Etasmin eva kale, in this, around the same time, means contemporary to King Kusanabha, too, but Chuli Nama Mahamunihi. He was a great sage. Urdhva Retaha. Urdhva Reta means the semen We've heard this phrase in Bhagavatam many times. Urdhvareta means the semen, instead of going down, goes up the spinal cord, up over all the chakras to the Urdhva chakra. The top one is called Brahmarandra. So those who can raise their semen to the Brahmarandra become self-realized. So such a great person. Shubhacharo, very auspicious behaviors and qualities. Brahman, such a Brahmana. Tapa upagatam, he was in severe tapasya or austerities. So in that area, there was a Gandharvi by the name Urmila. And a Gandharvi named Somada. Somada was the daughter of Urmila. Urmila is one of the heavenly personalities. Her daughter was Somada. She was a Kanya, or unmarried girl. She served this sage very nicely. Now my question may come, if such a Urvareta, why is a girl serving? In previous times, young girls or women would serve these people without any necessary fear of being exploited. It didn't matter to him, right? So she would serve him, and after quite a bit of service, when time came, he told her, I'm very, very satisfied by your wonderful service. What do you want? That's the nature of a great person, to say, what do you want? What can I do for you, right? Because you've been such of amazing service. So this girl said, I am unmarried, nor do I plan to get married, but I would love to have a son with you. Because you're such a great person, having a son from you would be very meaningful for me. So this Muni, Chuli, was not like, nice opportunity. Her request was to have a son without any sexual encounter. So he said, sure. Okay. Tasyaha prasanna, being very pleased, Brahma Rishi, Dadau Putram Anuttamam, gave a very, very fantastic son to her and named him Brahmadatta. Okay. Brahmadatta iti khyatam means he became famous as Brahmadatta. What kind of son was he? Manasam Chulina Sutam. He was born from the mind of Chuli Muni. So his name was Brahmadatta Chuli. Brahmadatta Lee. Last name was Lee. If I make fun like this, I'm going to get beaten up. But anyway. So Brahmadatta iti khyata manasam Chulinah Sutam. From the mind he was born. No sexual encounter. No